Welcome to this look at new mods on Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp.
It's Tuesday the 18th of May. We have some new mods, we have a few updates. The updates are as follows.
This unfortunately is a brief respite from the sound quality issues. It will all become clear later on, and I record this bit later in editing, so although you're hearing it now, this was recorded after everything else. Apologies. Top left, the CCT 2700 by GDB, the Lizard N219/5 by Ostry29 and Slycliffe, the Man Transport Pack by BD Modding. I think that's had some animal transport trailers added and a cramp trailer, both in XXL as well. The Massive Ferguson 6600 by Blauer, the rusty looking multi-fruit silos by Kaz64 and Old Aussie Gamer. That's had some new crop types added in to match up with Kaz64 and Old Aussie Gamer's maps. And the Amazon Power Harrows by Vertex Design have all had updates today.
In front of me, this down here, we have the 3-point ball hitch. This by Sander B Modding. 0.4 megabytes download, 1 slot on console. It's designed for a lot of the more, the older sort of vintage tractors. 3-point link mounted ball joint for connecting up trailers like car trailers and things like that. Most tractors, as you can see, most tractors have a ball joint on them, various different ones, you can swap them in and out. But for any particular tractor that doesn't have one, that's what it's for. You'll find it. Other tools are miscellaneous, 1,195. It's only one slot anyway, so slot count doesn't drop. There are no options. You get it just like that. That's it, 3-point ball hitch by Sander B Modding. Next, we've got these. Thanks a lot. You're welcome. This is the KFM Chem tanks. This is 5.52 megabytes download. 5 slots on console for the first one. These are by KarlFarms. We've got smaller ones which hold 2,700. We'll check. These ones are 4,000 litres of either extra liquid fertiliser or herbicide. So if you've got tanks on the back or sprayers or whatever it is you're hauling, these attach on the front. Very nicely made with some interesting details. The fill tubes here, just about see the colour. That one's a little bit bluish on there. This one has got a yellowish tinge to it on the fill pipe, and this one's probably white. I think I went for. You can change the colour of the liquid so you can see it more readily in those tubes if you wanted to. You'll find these under tools and crop protection. Chem tanks. 12 grand to buy. Slot count will go down from 5 to 1. If we change the main colour, that changes the strapping and the framework, so you can match up to your tractors or whatever it is you happen to be using. The tanks stay that kind of chromed look. The 360 gallon tanks are the small ones, 2,725 litres. Or you can have the larger tanks, 520 gallons, which is 4,000 litres. Then tank spacing, you can have standard or wide, so depending on what you're actually putting them on the front of, you might want to have a wider spacing. Then you've got attacher point. It's 3-point, so a 3-point link. Now that one sits at the front. You've got one that then goes more to the middle, and then one that comes more to the back. So that will adjust whereabouts those tanks sit in relation to the front of your tractor. I'll show you that in just a moment. Then we have got an undermount here. Now the undermount does say on the website, where are we? The undermount option is currently only compatible with the AFS Connect Steigers. So if you've got any of the AFS Connect Steiger mods, that will connect them to the front. So it's an undermount. So for those kind of quad track type tractors that don't have a front 3-point, but it's only currently compatible with those particular ones. So if we swing back around again, we've got logo style. You can just about see the logo on there. Or you can have it in red, like that. And then we've got, like I say, the liquid colour we can change from white to yellow to blue to brown and back again. So those are the options. Now, this one and this one, so that's the larger tanks. That's on a wide spacing, and that's with the actual 3-point hitch right at the back. That's the smaller tanks on the narrow spacing, again with the 3-point hitch right at the back. And as you can see, it sits quite a long way off the bonnet and the front 3-point. So what we'll do, let's lower it down. Oh, that's interesting. Can't lower it. No, you can attach it or detach it. The next one, I went for the 3-point link further forward. So what should happen when we hook this one up? It sits much closer up to the bonnet. I mean, it's an aesthetic thing. It might help with however many weights or whatever you're putting over the back you might need or not need, but again, it can just come down to how you want it to particularly look. We can open cover, L1 and left on the D-pad, so for filling, we open the covers, and that's it really. There's not much more to say about those. The KFM Chem tanks by KarlFarms. Moving on, we have got this. We've got some odd ones today. Some puzzlements, I would say. This is the New Holland 380 FP header. It's by Kyosho. 3.52 megabytes download, 9 slots on console. This is a pickup header for the forage harvesters. Now, we already have them in game. The standard New Holland one is a 3 metre, this is a 3.8. So we've got the 300, this is the 380, which means it's a little bit wider. Does it do anything differently to the standard one? Not that I can tell. It's just a little bit wider. So potentially, if you've done grass and then you've done the hay swath, it might be a little bit wider. It's a slightly wider pickup. I've always been curious as to why, if you're going to use it for chaff, why would you go to the trouble of making hay? Because you could just do chaff with grass. That said, normally anything that goes through a forage harvester gets cross-cut and turns into chaff. With grass and with hay, they stay as grass and hay when they've been through the forage harvester. So you can technically use this as a loading wagon if you wanted to. With a trailer on the back, have that on the front, you can go and collect up your swaths without having a loading wagon. So if you've got a trailer, you could buy one of these instead, a little bit like the milling machine header if you wanted to. On FS15, these headers used to pick up straw as well. So I thought, oh, maybe it does straw. It doesn't. I checked it, I've got a straw swath over there. So it does still only do grass and hay like the regular ones. So it's just a little bit wider, really. We go to forage harvester headers. Let's say the 300 FP's there. Does grass, does hay, 3 metres wide, 12 miles an hour. This one is the 380 FP, 25,800 to buy. Slot count will drop down from 9 to 1. Still run to 12 miles an hour. And we'll pick up your stuff. You can have it standard or you can have it with warning signs. Those are your options. I've got random sugarcane trailers on the back. I often use those when I'm doing foraging work because they connect straight up. Turn it on. Actually, you have to turn it off first. It comes like that, so it will come folded. You have to unfold it first, like the other ones do. $12 an hour is pretty much the same speed the loading wagon runs at as well. If you've got a forage harvester, yeah, I mean, it doesn't do anything differently. That's grass on the ground, it's grass in the back. It's just a little bit wider header. So there we go, that's the New Holland 380 FP by Kyosho. Moving on from there, we've got the PB5-032, 6.75 megabytes download. And I think there are 3 slots on console. We've got a selection here. I'll explain that in just a moment. So we've got 2 different sets here. We've got a complete unit here, which is 6 meters wide, folds up all in one section. You've then got a roller version of that, sort of, which comes in separate sections, so you can kind of make it bigger if you want to. These ones will fertilise the ground for you. So you'll find those under, I think they're under miscellaneous, but they will fertilise. But then also in this pack, you've got the same thing, so an all-in-one unit, and then separate roller sections that will cultivate. So one lot's under miscellaneous, one lot's under disc arrows. I'll show you them in just a moment. This is by BlendArt, Kolchozník Jr. and Czech modding. There is, however, a problem with the roller versions, which you'll see when we have a look at them in store, because as you can see, that one has got like a ridged roller on it. That one has got a Cambridge roller on it. And you can have it smooth. Now that one, apparently, is a Cambridge roller. And that one, I don't know if you can see from the side, that is the toothed one. But the tooth bit is on the inside, not on the outside. So I think there's a problem with the roller versions. Anyway, let's get to it. Under tools and miscellaneous. So the PB5032 is 30 grand, 6 metres wide, requires 54 horsepower, which isn't too bad. It'll run at 9 miles per hour. We can change the main colour, depending on that palette, which changes the frame. Rim colour, changes the rim colour. And then design colour changes the inner sections of the rollers. If I change those to blue, let's come out a little bit. Then we've got the roller is smooth, toothed, or Cambridge. That's what they're supposed to look like. So smooth, toothed, Cambridge. Now this is the version that will fertilise. Then we go to the separate one, the HMR2, which is the roller section. 5 grand each, also 3 slots, which drops down to 1 for any subsequent one. Combined, if you put 3 together, it still comes out at 6 metres. We can change the main colour, which does the frame. Design colour, which does the centre section. Frame, we can have standard. We can have it with a left folder. We can have it with the right folder, or both folding arms, so you can connect up other rollers to it and make it 6 metres wide, or even more if you put more of those together. Now this is where the problem comes. Roller smooth, roller toothed, but the tooth bit is on the inside, and then Cambridge, nothing at all. And that's the same on both, the same as on the fertiliser version and on the cultivating version, it's doing the same thing. So that's the fertilising version, and under disc arrows we've got the same thing, exactly the same options, all exactly the same. Same with this, unfortunately. If we go to here, we've got smooth, we've got toothed, and we've got Cambridge. It's not showing, they're still showing smooth no matter what you do on that. The difference with these two is these will cultivate and not fertilise. Now, as far as the fertiliser one goes, let's hook up to it. You have to turn on the rollers. So if we unfold it, test it a bit, get it going. Because it's fertilising, now the fertiliser, this will give you a free fertilising state. You don't have to pay. If I turn them on, we are now fertilising our ground. It's not costing us a penny. It will fertilise, which is great. Now, if you want to hire a worker, if we come into our menu, where are we here? Under helper refill. So we go to helper refill, not fuel, seed, fertiliser. That has to be off. If you have that set to on, you will not be able to hire a worker. It just won't let you do it. If you turn that off, as mine is set to off at the moment, so you can have it buy or off, then you can hire a worker, and your worker will do your fertilising for you, but you need to make sure that is turned off. I'll disconnect that. We'll go to the rollers. Now the rollers, like I say, they do come separately. I put them together in this set of 3. Be careful with this, because the front one that is foldable, you do not want to fold that when you've got the other ones attached, because it does have a bit of a freak out. I will show you, but just to let you know, you still need to turn these on, because these just roll on the ground. You don't raise or lower them, they just roll. If I disconnect that one, as you see, it's disconnected, and then we can disconnect that one as well. So that's how they'll come. If I fold that up, folds the arms away, you can put them line astern, so you can put them one behind each other using the centre attacher. So to get them out to a field, you can have them all out in a line behind, as many as you want to take. Unfold it, hook up, turn it on, turn it on, turn it on. There we go. Same thing again, to hire a worker, your biofertilizer needs to be off and they will work. But like I said, if you are in this position and you fold the rollers, yeah, just be wary about folding the rollers when you've still got them attached. They don't like it. So that's the fertilizer options, and then we come to the cultivator option. I'll only show you this cultivator because the rollers version does exactly the same thing. Oh, actually no, there is something you need to be aware of. Because they roll and they don't lift up or anything, they are constantly in cultivation mode. Now that won't affect anything off the field, so it won't return it to a field state or anything like that. But if you've got grass out or anything like that, it will get rid of it. So just be warned. We'll show you that in just a second. Let's drop that down. So this one's the cultivator version. We are cultivating at 6 meters. All very lovely. It's a weird day today for once. No buildings, no vehicles. We do have a new map today, Newbrook Farm by Peter716. So again, this you don't turn on, you can't lift them, you can detach them exactly the same way as the other ones, but as soon as you drive onto the field, it will start cultivating. Just realised I've got a cross point there, but it doesn't matter, it's still showing working. If I come off the field, mind you, that said, those rollers, that's cultivated to the speed of the tractor. I'm sure that said they were supposed to do. That's actually not bad though. That'll get some quick combing done. If I come off the field, it won't affect the grass or anything like that around you, which is great. It will probably, as soon as you come onto the field, yeah, we're going at the speed of the vehicle. It will probably delete the grass and hay. Yeah, so just be careful if you're taking them out to a field and you roll over anything you don't want to roll over. But okay, so that's the cultivator versions of them. Like I say, they don't unfortunately have the Tooth or the Cambridge version, but it is what it is. I can't do a lot about that. It may well get an update. So that's the PB5032 by BlendArt, Kolchozník Jr. and Czech modding. Next, we have got the Guettler Matador 30. I feel that our 3 meter aficionados, have been neglected for a little while. This is 3 meters, don't worry, it's a front one as well, so exciting, isn't it? If you are the 3 meter aficionados out there, the Guettler Matador 30. Front cultivator, 3 meters wide, 3.9 megabytes download, 4 slots on console. This by Rick Black Labele TWD modding. Don't need that. You will find this, and this is disc arrows as well. Yeah. 2,100 for a 3 meter. No options. Weirdly, the website Mod Hub shows this with yellow rollers as well as red rollers. There's no option here to change the colour on those. That possibly for PC, but drop it down, and we are front cultivating to 3 meters. There you go. The Guettler Matador 30 by Rick Black Labele TWD modding, which brings us on to the last of the mods for today. And it's this. This is the Vaderstad NZ Aggressive 600. I don't know what's aggressive about it, over and above any other cultivator, I suppose. This is 14.72 megabytes download, 8 slots on console. This is by TarkC007. But this is a puzzling one in that, again, on the Mod Hub website, I'm not sure if it was actually the Mod Hub that said this, but we'll check in a minute. It says NZ Aggressive 500/1000 is a seed bent iron harrow available in working widths from 5 to 10 metres. Now I'm assuming that's the actual real world version of that, because this one we've got the Aggressive 600, which is only 6 metres, there's no other option. It does right at the bottom say, required mod Vaderstad Rolex 620. I can't find that.
As I was saying, I can't find the Vaderstad Rolex 620. It didn't come with it, and I'm not sure whether that's part of a bigger mod package. I've also just realised at this point my headphones weren't plugged in at all. So what you have probably already found is right from the very start of this video, it came up with a message saying apologies for the sound, because the only thing that was picking up my voice was the microphone on my controller, not my microphone on my headset. I'm not sure quite how that happened, and apologies for that. But anyway, let's go and have a look at it. You'll find it under cultivators. So the NZ Aggressive 600, 45,000 to buy, 6 meters wide, requires 200 horsepower. So it also says there on the jigsaw puzzle piece, Rolex 620. Runs at 9 miles an hour. Options available. We can have the goose foot tines. So you see the tines there, just glistening slightly, the goose foot. Or you can have straight tines, more like chisels. And then you've got plus trailer hitch or without. So you can have a trailer hitch on there for towing other things behind. I'm really puzzled about that Rolex. I looked all over the place. I've been into miscellaneous. I looked under weeders. I can't figure what that might be. Anyway, don't know why I did that. So I'm all flustered now because the microphone thing. That's so annoying. It's going to sound really tinny and awful, so I can only apologise for that. Drop it down. And away we go. Now I'm assuming the fact it's got a trailer hitch, that is for that Rolex. Because it doesn't actually stick out very far. If you look at the trailer, you can just see the trailer hitch down there. It doesn't actually stick out beyond the back of the actual cultivator, and I don't think we can extend it. No, pretty sure we can't. But there we go. Cultivator, 6 meters. A lot of cultivating today. And that's it for the mods for today. That's the Vaderstad NZ Aggressive 600 by TarkC007. I hope you found all of this useful in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. As always, thanks for watching.